Welcome, everyone, to the PRIMO NUTMEG UFC 205 preview. We are just about ready here to watch the weigh-ins at 6 p.m. on Friday night. Joining me tonight, back again, is Patterson.
Hello, hello, hello.
And my producer, McG.
Hello, hello.
Thank you guys very much for being... Thank you both for being on PRIMO NUTMEG again, or for speaking on PRIMO NUTMEG again in your case. But I know that this is the biggest UFC event ever, and I definitely wanted to do a fight preview for it, or a breakdown, but I haven't had a chance to do much research, so I'm going to actually trust you guys to kind of steer the show on this one, because I have not really prepared that much. But before we start this, I just wanted to educate you guys on something that you may not have known. Next week, there's a big wrestling event, and it's called Survivor Series. It's being headlined by Brock Lesnar, who you guys know. And do you guys know who he is wrestling at Survivor Series?
He's wrestling
Goldberg?
He's wrestling Goldberg.
It is Goldberg.
I heard that.
Goldberg is back after, I think, 13 years out of the business. So he's an old man now. He's coming back for one last match.
I actually watched them in their first match live at WrestleMania 20.
When the whole crowd was booing them.
When we were all booing them because we knew they were leaving. We knew both of them. You know, that was their last fight. At least that's why I was booing.
Yeah, they actually threw in Steve Austin as the guest referee.
Yeah,
right?
we were all cheering him like throughout the fight and then booing the people who were actually wrestling.
Yeah.
So.
I think he might have actually given them both stunners at the end.
He probably did. I don't remember.
Stone Cold was the man. He's probably the only person I really follow from wrestling.
He has a podcast too.
I know he does. Chael Sonnen talks about it a lot, but I've never actually given it a listen.
There are some good wrestling podcasts out there. That one, Jim Ross has one. Ric Flair has one. Roddy Piper, before he passed on, he had one as well. And I'd recommend all of them. You guys know I'm kind of a casual UFC fan. I think the last event I watched was 202, I believe. I don't know if I watched 203 or 204. Did I? Maybe.
I don't remember.
Actually, I think I did, because I was like dozing off.
Yeah, you probably
Anderson
watched one
Bisping
of them.
That was just like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 202 was a big one. We had everybody to hear. That was a giant event. And that was McGregor also. And this is only 3 pay-per-views later, and he's back. So isn't that kind of quick? Seems fairly quick.
No, like 3 months. That's a
for a guy that's making the moves that he's making, he's doing the right things.
Maybe for like a title fight, especially after the fight that he just had with Diaz.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
War.
Did they schedule a third in that trilogy yet?
No.
Are they going to?
Yeah, of course.
Depending on what happens tonight, they might have the third fight at 155. The belt he's fighting for.
Well, yeah, they were talking about. Well, McGregor was talking about having it at 55, anyways. But if he wins the belt, it'd be
that
for
might
the title.
be the next fight they do.
Yeah, probably not though. I think they would do like Tony Ferguson, or if Khabib wins.
Well, hopefully he goes to 145.
Who's that? McGregor. Oh, McGregor?
Yeah.
No.
If he wins the belt, he needs to go to 145 again, or give that shit up.
He'll vacate the belt.
That's not really holding 2 belts at the same time, in my opinion.
He'll wait a week and then vacate the 45. I don't see him going down to 45 anymore.
Yeah.
What if, because he had both belts, they combined weight classes?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But an open weight
wishful
tournament,
thinking.
An open weight tournament with that guy would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do they actually do tournaments?
No. In the UFC.
They should.
They used to.
I know they used to. I watched some of the first few UFCs with McG
right,
here.
well, of course, those are all tournaments based. But
yeah, they should do more of that. Or bring it back, Do some retro type shit.
The thing
like
is,
that.
the athletic commissions these days are not going to let someone go and get concussed for 25 minutes and then go do it 2 more times that night. Which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they do tournaments a lot nowadays is they'll spread them out between like a 6 to 8 week period. including the Risen tournament that's coming up, which is open weight with the likes of Vanderlei Silva and Shane Carwin. Crow Cop.
Are they totally open weight, or are they like within certain parameters?
It's 185 and up.
Okay.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's got to be because Vanderlei is like a natural 185.
Yeah, they couldn't have like a 125 pounder.
Right.
Like step in there.
But even still, Shane Carwin, the night he fights, is probably going to weigh somewhere around like 270 pounds, where Vanderlei Silva might weigh like 210.
Yeah. But yeah, Shane Carwin, if he faces Vanderlei Silva that night, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be hard to watch.
Yeah, it absolutely would be.
Well, let's run through this card, and I think the weigh-ins are actually going to start pretty soon too, so we can comment on that. But just the first fight of the night, Liz Carmouche. Did I get that right? Carmouche, damn, so close. Caitlin Chukakagan.
Sure. I
don't know. Any thoughts on this fight?
Not really. Liz Carmouche. I've never seen Caitlin fight, so
yeah, I don't know too much about Chukagian, but on the side of Carmouche, she was the very first person to fight Ronda Rousey for the belt, first openly gay fighter, and just an awesome fighter all around. Major props to her.
Yeah, the first women's main event,
and almost beat Ronda
for
too.
A pay-per-view.
Like got Ronda's back in like the opening minute. Yeah. Ronda was fighting off like a pretty fierce rear naked choke, and I mean, there isn't a fight that sucks on this card. So
well, apparently Caitlin is undefeated. So even though we haven't really seen her fight before,
yeah, this is her debut. So I don't know. I'd have to see how she is. But
Liz Carmouche is a pretty tall order for a debut.
So the next fight on the card is Jim Miller against Thiago Alves. Get that one right?
Tiago.
Damn it. Yeah. These fucking names, man. Like every fucking UFC name.
If you see TH, just assume it's probably not going to sound like a normal T.
Yeah.
None of these.
Just pronounce it as a T.
Well, anyway. Which one?
Well, Tiago missed weight.
Yeah, by 6.6 pounds.
Yeah. And Jim Miller actually had to, because in New York, I guess they have some sort of stipulation that you need to be within 7 pounds. Like, if the fighter's overweight, like, they need to be within, the other fighter needs to be 7 pounds, like, within that range, or else they're going to cancel the fight.
So if someone misses weight, it's better that you both miss weight. Because even if it's, like, you're doing it because of something, like, the company's not going to, like, try and give you a hard time for that, unless you were just fucking lazy about it. But if, like, there's something going on, it's like, dude, I can't make weight. You're like, okay, well, let's just keep this guy within that weight, and then we can still have the fight.
But that's what Jim Miller did. He put on like 2 pounds,
but
so he was within that range.
Know that, and he had weighed in first. If he had already gotten an official weight, he couldn't just be like, okay, well, I'm going to go hydrate, and then I'm going to.
Oh, let me weigh in again.
Yeah, no. They're like, it's final once you do it. So you have to be privy to that information in order to make that fight still happen, or something shitty might happen, which we might get to.
You know, one thing that we did kind of skip over here is that this is the first UFC fight in New York. So I don't know if maybe you guys want to speak to that a little bit. Why has UFC not happened in New York before? You know, it's the only state in the country that was outlawing it. Why did it take so long?
Well, New York has something known as the Culinary Union. And I'm not so sure how much of that has anything to do with actual food, but that's what it's called. And they were preventing the UFC from being there because of something to do with like the taxes. Like they're making it almost impossible for them to actually be there, and they wouldn't legalize it, even though amateur martial arts is legal there. So amateur MMA is legal.
That's so retarded.
Judo, boxing, kickboxing, all these other sports, but
just because UFC makes so much money.
Now I know there's probably, and I don't know this for sure, but if I had to assume, which I am, I'm assuming that the guy there, whoever the head of the Culinary Union is, might not like Dana White, the president of the UFC,
and the Fertitta brothers,
and or the Fertitta brothers, who are also very prominent people
who own casinos in Vegas,
right, all over the place, like billionaires.
I actually heard that the reason that this changed is because there was some New York politician who like got busted for corruption or
It
something.
was this guy.
Yeah,
it was the guy that was
I don't know his
preventing the UFC from being there. I knew his name. I can't think of it. But that guy got fucking busted for corruption, and now they're in there. And also, pretty interesting, Dana White highly endorsed Trump for the election. And it's rumored that if Trump were to win, he'd be there on Saturday.
Really?
So we might have a very special guest there.
Wow. Which,
no matter how you feel about Trump, having the president at the UFC is also monumental. So it's the first time in New York.
That's true.
The new president's going to be there. First time there's ever been a president there. And somebody that's promoting the sport. So like even bad publicity is good publicity. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are excited about it. Some people that don't really care about Trump, but it's good for MMA.
I'm sure a lot of UFC fans probably do.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really have an opinion on it either way, but it's good for the sport.
By the way, just to make note of this, again, we are doing this podcast as we're watching the weigh-ins. So the Carmouche weigh-in is right now.
Carmouche.
Les Carmouche.
I am Gorilla is her Twitter handle.
Now, take note of Mr. Joe Rogan here. At the weigh-ins, whenever a female undresses, he tends to make really funny faces.
Can't see him, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll go to him as soon as it happens.
It's weird that he would make weird faces.
Yeah,
he doesn't do it all the time, but
he's done it a few times. It's been pretty funny.
Yeah, there's some memes online.
Now, did these weigh-ins really tell you anything about like how they're facing each other right now? Does this tell you who's going to win? Can you ever just tell looking at them? I actually heard that you can base who's going to win a fight based on who smiles. Typically, the person that smiles.
I heard
at
that
the beginning of the
they
fight
did like a study.
Is nervous. Yeah, for sure. The thing with that is, it's not really what the action is. It's the like reaction of their action a lot of times because you can have. I know that might sound a little confusing, but for example, the Ronda Rousey fight, her last fight when she lost.
I was going to bring that up.
She fucking got right in Holly Holm's face. It looked really intimidating and was, put her heart and soul into that to like really strike like.
And there was no like beef at all.
Like there was no beef. She just like
the entire lead up to the event.
And a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, Ronda's pumped up." But as soon as she turned and like walked away, there was a huge insecurity in it. It looked like a big weakness, and everyone was talking about it. And we all know what happened after that. So sometimes somebody can smile. I know Anderson Silva's done it a lot, and most of the time he wins. So you can't always tell, even though that is probably a small percentage or a large percentage of people that do smile, that do lose the fight. I did hear that, but like I said, it's more or less the reaction of their action.
So
see
now
if they like really believe themselves.
Now we have Miller and Alves doing their weigh-ins.
Alves used to fight at 170, so this
and he couldn't make that weight either.
Yeah, this is his first cut.
So why the fuck does he think he's going down to 155?
At UFC 100, he weighed like a little over 200 pounds when he fought George St. Pierre.
It's pretty close though, 5 pounds difference.
I still think Thiago's going to win.
Yeah, Jim Miller's got so much heart and so much grit in him, but I think Thiago Alves is a little more technical.
Well, let's talk about the next fight on the card before they come out. I'm going to mispronounce every single goddamn name on here besides Conor McGregor.
Well, I don't really know these guys anyways.
Vicente Luque. Close enough?
Sure.
Belal Muhammad.
Yeah, I don't know who either of those guys are. I'm assuming.
Well, there's Muhammad.
I think they put that fight on from Evans and Kennedy was taken off. And
right. I think this is a last-minute fight where they just tried to throw a couple guys in to fill the space.
One guy's probably from New York.
We're supposed to have Tim Kennedy versus Rashad Evans, which was going to be Rashad Evans' first fight at 185, down from 205. And I don't know if you saw the picture, McG, of him at the weight cut at 195.
Who?
Rashad.
Oh, Rashad. Yeah, it looked like he was on something.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
he looked
fucking jacked. He's never looked like that.
Yeah, never ever looked like that. So I was really looking forward to that fight too. Not only because they're both badasses, but I'm a Tim Kennedy fan.
Yeah, Tim's the man.
I really like the guy. Fucking badass.
He actually weighed in.
Just
this
in case
morning.
they got an opponent.
So did Jacare. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
Why the fuck aren't they fighting? Tim Kennedy and Jacare.
Right? That's what.
Why aren't they fighting tomorrow? They both weighed in.
And the only reason Jacare wouldn't take the fight is because he wants to replace Romero or Weidman.
Yeah, but still.
Right, that's
Like,
not
they
going to
could
happen.
fight.
They're fighting.
They came in fight shape. That's crazy.
So after that, it's Rafael Natal and Tim Boetsch.
Tim the Barbarian.
Rafael Natal and Tim
God
Boetsch.
damn it.
He's a country boy.
Yeah.
Tim Boetsch.
I'm going Natal.
Here he is.
I'm going Boetsch.
These guys are veterans, huh? 21-7-1 and 19-10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tim Boetsch is pretty good.
Yeah, Tim Boetsch is a veteran of the sport, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Natal's been around for a while, too.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I just don't know too much about Natal because I don't care.
I see.
Oh, my God. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Nurmagomedov.
You're getting there.
Try and put a little Russian twist on that.
Yes.
Nurmagomedov.
That was closer.
I don't know.
Cool.
What is it?
It's Habib Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov.
And Michael Johnson.
Yeah, that's an easier name.
Mikhail Jones. Yeah, Mitchell.
This guy's Russian, huh?
Oh, yeah.
U.S. versus Russia.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll go Khabib on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Habib on that too.
It'd be cool if Michael Johnson knocked him out.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. We don't know what kind of Habib is gonna be here because Habib hasn't fought in like 3 years.
No, he fought some random dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just did that.
Yeah.
Did
that
he
was
fucking just throw him around the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It was just some no-name dude. He was supposed to fight, I don't remember who he was supposed to fight.
I don't remember either.
This guy, was a literal last-minute replacement to
Yeah.
keep the fight on the card. So,
Are there more fights on this card than a normal card?
no.
No, I think
I think there is 6 fights on the main card, though, which...
Look at Michael Johnson. It's like snarling. Follow the Menace is his Twitter handle.
There's usually 5 on the main card, but sometimes there's 6. But I think there's 6 on this one. There's 3 title fights.
Wow.
3 title fights this evening. Yes. Yeah. Every fight on this card could be a main event.
Not every fight.
Not every fight.
Maybe on the main card. Definitely on the main card.
Definitely on the main card.
Definitely on the main card.
How about Frankie Edgar and Jeremy Stevens?
That's an amazing fight.
That's a really good fight.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeremy Stevens, been around for a long time. Used to fight at 55, knocking dudes out. Now he's fighting at 45, knocking dudes out. So, and Frankie's the man.
Frankie is the man.
Look at that.
Seen Frankie
Look at that.
fight. Oh yeah, that's
he wears that
not
hat.
a joke. That's like a Russian I'm sorry, I'm not speaking into this thing. It's like a Russian special forces guy's like
Really?
dress headpiece.
I just thought it was like a silly wig.
No, it looks
It's some sort of like Russian winter hat or some shit.
yeah, it's actually like a really prestigious headpiece.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like a fucking spoiled 18-year-old from California.
Yeah, I'm actually going for Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I know I would.
I'm going for Frankie.
I know you're going for
See, these are the best fights for me when you guys disagree.
We always disagree.
Well, agree to disagree then.
I mean, Frankie Edgar's awesome, but
Frankie's dealt with...
Jeremy's got some lethal knockout power.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And if Gray Maynard can fucking tag up Frankie Edgar like he did, I think Jeremy Stevens could put him out.
By the way, did we ever do a review of 200 to see which one of you was more right?
I think we did. I think
would be
it was
interested to
me
know.
who was more right. I won.
I don't know. We'd have to pull up a tally. I probably won.
We should keep a running scorecard. Or like, do you ever see in old pool halls, so they have the thing with the little beads that like slide across the rods?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like keep score.
Yeah.
We should have one of those in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm going Jeremy Stevens.
These guys are veterans too, huh? Jesus, 25 and 12.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Frankie's a former champ.
At 155.
155. Now he's fighting at 145. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going Stevens.
Knockout.
Yeah, knockout. Maybe the first.
I'm going Frankie.
Maybe the second.
TKO. Round number 2, motherfucker.
All right, I'm going first round knockout then.
So next we have Misha Tate and Raquel Pennington.
Yeah.
Now Misha just lost her last fight. She lost the belt, but she's a pretty resilient fighter, right? She's lost the belt at least once before that.
Yeah, in Strikeforce.
Yeah. That was her first time having the UFC belt. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, she got fucked up.
Yeah, she definitely did. She did.
Yeah.
She did not look great coming into that fight, and definitely not going out of that fight. I think.
And this chick looks pretty badass, actually. She looks pretty cut.
Oh,
she's got some sick tattoos.
she's pretty fucking cool. And she's got some knockout power too. So, I don't know.
Doesn't
I'll
look good
probably
for
go
Misha.
Tate by decision.
I'm going Tate by submission.
I like to see her win.
Round 3. The
But
lovely
yeah.
Misha Tate.
Yeah.
She seems.
Tate's great.
What are you
Now
pointing at?
watch for a Rogan face in this one, because this is usually when he does them.
Well, wasn't there a cop that or a security guard or something that got caught in like a meme? Was it Misha Tate or was it?
Yeah, it was Misha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like staring at her. But they're not even. Oh, because McG, you were saying this.
Yeah,
this isn't
this is a
the
new
actual weigh-in.
This is a new thing because they weigh in at like.
I think that's why we're not getting the Rogan in there.
Yeah, there's no.
He is on stage
butts to
though.
look at.
He is. He's just announcing them though.
That's weird. Maybe that's part of his new contract.
Yeah, they got the new early weigh-ins now, but they still do this like ceremonial weigh-in or whatever.
Okay, here we go. Chris Weidman,
now we're
Yoel
talking.
Romero.
Chris Weidman.
This is for number 1 contender.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
It is.
So there is no number 1 contender?
in the middleweight division. Not really. I mean, there's some guys up there, but
I mean, it's like a tie between like 5 people right now.
yeah. So, yeah, I'm going Weidman, of course.
I'm going
New York
Weidman,
guy.
too. I'm going Weidman, but I won't be surprised if Yoel comes out and just fucking manhandles him and just puts him out.
Yeah, this guy looks pretty jacked too.
He is pretty jacked.
I
would be
his
surprised
first fight
about that.
back after being canned for steroids.
Well, he got off from that.
Yeah,
supposedly
he did get off.
It was
from
like
that.
some tainted supplement that he took. Or
They always say dick pills. That's like the big thing now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Jones,
Jones,
the
John
dick
Jones
pills.
just got a fucking 1-year suspension. I wonder if that's retroactive.
It is. Yeah.
So he'll be back in like 3 months.
Well, no, it's from July, so
Okay.
still got a good while.
Here comes Weidman.
Yeah, Weidman's the man.
A New York
New
native.
York.
Oh, really?
Yep, trains in New York.
So he's gonna be
This
getting the
is a big
cheers
event for
tomorrow.
him.
Then.
It's like
And
one of the
his-
only New York guys on the card. It's
His
crazy.
head coach is Matt Serra, who I also said is from New York. Also,
That's Sarah Longo.
And can we use that as a picture for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please do. Please do.
When did you meet
To the
him?
Mats.
Mohegan Sun.
Like 5 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
It probably was.
And it was a really good experience.
It was at Mohegan.
I saw Matt Serra. We were one of the first people up there, and I got up there. He's a small guy. And I was like, what's up, man? And he's like, finally, somebody my size. And I would have told this exact story on the last podcast.
Probably.
But but I was like, hey, man. I was like, thanks for making the little guys look good. He's like, yeah, I did it for us.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very endearing dude.
Now, I know this chick, but I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. Joanna. Something.
Young Jacek.
Young Jacek.
And
like
she's fighting some other Polak, which I can say because I'm Polish. I am a Polak.
Say it.
Carolina Kowalskiewicz. Kowalkiewicz? Carolina Kowalkiewicz.
Kowalkiewicz, I think it's pronounced.
Kowalkiewicz.
Oh, yeah, because...
Kowalkiewicz.
Kowalkiewicz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say dziękuję.
Dziękuję.
That's thank you in Polish.
Cool.
And salt and pepper is sol I pepsz. So that's what I got in Polish.
Salt and pepper's here.
Also, they say the Russian cheers. They say nastrovia, which is a Russian
I've heard
cheers.
that.
Yeah, I've heard you say that like a million times.
I say it when I drink and am drunk.
Well, how come you haven't been saying it yet?
Because we're drinking, but I'm not drunk. Anywho, what do you think about this fight? 12-0 against 10-0.
Yeah, I got
Joanna.
champ. I got Joanna.
Joanna champion.
She's the new age Chuck Liddell at female 115.
Yeah.
She's just fucking badass.
Great takedown defense. Nasty striking.
Muay Thai specifically.
They're showing like a vignette of her now. Kicking ass.
Yeah, they're gonna do these for all the title fight.
Yeah, that's pretty sick, man. I love those slow motion punch shots when you can see the other person's face rippling.
Yeah, or like sweat flying, or blood flying.
Probably both going to come out with Polish flags.
Most likely.
Who's the real one?
Well, I don't know. I've never heard of this lady before. So
She's good.
You've seen her fight before?
Yeah, I've seen her fight. I think she's fought like twice or 3 times in the UFC.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
she must have, right? She's number 2
She was
contender.
she was a
Number one
champ
contender.
in some organization in Poland, and I think they fought before actually. And
I think it was Poland Fury
Joanna
fighting?
choked her out.
Is there some kind of like female MMA thing happening in Poland? It's weird that you'd have 2 top ranked female competitors coming from Poland, which is a relatively
Maybe.
small country.
I don't know.
I mean, once you got one,
Why not
more
more?
people see the potential.
Yeah.
She's probably made MMA very popular in Poland.
Has she ever been close to losing a fight?
Yes.
Yeah, with Claudia
Claudia.
in her last fight, I thought she lost. Well,
She
Yeah.
didn't.
she did obviously, but it was close. And then what other fight with that Canadian chick? You know what I'm talking about?
No. Who?
It's
Valerie
nuts that
Letourneau.
Oh, Valerie Letourneau.
yeah. I remember her.
Yeah, don't act stupid. Yeah, that was a close fight. too.
crazy that this arena is. It seems like it's sold out just for these weigh-ins.
Oh, it's Madison Square Garden.
They
And
smashed the record for ticket sales for Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
Like any sporting event.
That's
I
insane.
wonder how much the tickets were to get 2 tickets.
They're expensive as fuck.
Because we paid $350.
Nosebleed was $300.
Yeah, we paid $350 for actually okay seats, but still $350.
They were nice seats. They were like mid-level,
Yeah. And that was the first time they ever went to Boston. So
Yeah. That was
I'm surprised
6
they didn't
years
do.
ago, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do a fan expo here.
I'm
'Cause
really
that was our plan.
surprised.
We were going to go to that fan expo. We'd be at Rachel's right now.
Yeah. Sleeping over.
Sleeping over, getting ready.
We'd
for
be
some
right
fights
there.
tomorrow. We'd be
in that
fucking
crowd.
there, actually, yeah. I'd be up there on stage hanging out with Rogan.
Yeah, we'd be in that crowd watching the weigh-ins right now. But, no.
You'd be up in the nosebleeds. Remember that?
Yeah,
That was so cool.
that was awesome.
Just
Those are the
sitting up
best
there.
seats.
Dude, the best. Dude,
I put my feet up.
we went to this fan Q&A, and where was that? That was at the Boston.
It was right
Expo
across the street
Center?
from the Expo Center or whatever it's
Right.
called, the Garden. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we were at the Expo Center.
Yeah.
And they had this like huge arena style thing for like a Q&A. And like all the people were down there. But I convinced Steve to follow me over to the side and go up these like flights of stairs. And there were like 3 levels of like up that sat like way high up.
Yeah.
You just looked down.
It's like balcony
the
seats.
sound just reverberated out there. You could hear clearly. It was just us. We could just like...
There was nobody up there, and it was packed.
Wow.
Down at the
Yeah, we
bottom.
could hear everything, you know, but
Yeah.
we could still like maintain a conversation amongst ourselves. So we're just like talking about the weekend, but had like Dana White just like narrating like what's going on in the background, just like seeing everything, looking at the fighters, looking at like what's going on behind the scenes, like how they kind of got everything set up.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Just yeah, that would have been fantastic.
And Rogan and Goldberg did Q&A there that we watched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. they
Dana
did.
White,
Dana White. Yeah, I know my buddy. I met him.
your buddy Dana.
He's my friend.
Where'd you meet him? Was that
At the
There.
Q&A, yeah.
Okay.
I begged him for backstage pass.
Everyone that came up, you begged him for backstage. He was like, we don't have those.
Everyone asked him if he had tickets to give away. He's like, "Oh, you guys, I can't keep giving out tickets."
Yeah, he had to like say, he was like, all right, guys,
And then
no more tickets, please.
And then I got up there and I was like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" I was like, "First of all, I have tickets, so don't worry." And he like started laughing. And I like laughed with him. And then I was like, "But can I get some backstage passes?" Just like immediately asked.
We
him
can
for
like some
shit.
VIP passes.
Everyone just begging this dude for shit, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, no, I got my own. Can I have this?"
But it was funny because like everyone that went up there asked for a picture, which is normal.
sure?
But like after every single question, yeah.
I thought I was the only one that.
Nah, man. Everyone was like, hey, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah. And then they'd walk up and then the next guy would go there and Dana would snap the picture while the other guy's asking the question. And then at the end of that question, he was like, hey, can I grab a picture? So it was just like, constant.
Yeah.
But
So let's talk about the next fight on the card: Tyrone Woodley and Stephen Thompson. What do you guys think about this fight?
oh, yeah. Great fight. Woo! Number 1 versus number 2.
Wonder Boy
Jungle.
MMA. Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, Wonder Boy.
Yeah, Wonder Boy is a karate fighter who's had like 100 like full contact karate fights, and the style that he brings, and with high level MMA training as well, he can just use this high level karate fighting. And then whenever somebody rushes in on him, he's got great takedown defense. He's got great Muay Thai. He's like in the 90 percentile all the way around.
Training with Sarah Longo now and Chris Weidman.
I did not know that.
Well, you should.
Now I know.
He's been training with them for the last couple of fights, actually.
You don't say.
Ah.
That's crazy.
I think Chris brought him in for like the second time he
partner?
fought Anderson Silva, or like the first time he fought Anderson Silva or some shit.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Why is Tyrone Woodley bringing a bag? So he brings
I don't
luggage
know.
Got
up
to put
with
all
him.
his money in it when he leaves.
Maybe he's got some
When he
gas.
wins. So, what was I saying?
Talking about Wonder Boy.
Oh yeah, so Wonder Boy, yeah, he's in the 90 percentile all the way around, but like a solid 100 at this karate fighting that
He was
not
57-0.
yeah, that not everybody like
karate.
does. So he's got this
Well, it's like karate kickboxing, right?
yeah, but he's just got this
That's
one
smart.
style that like
That's good,
It's
man.
hard
Have some
to,
like,
like, imitate.
unique thing.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's
You know-
like a Lyoto. Like when Lyoto came around the first time, we were like, whoa, this guy's fucking like crazy karate.
Right.
And then eventually people figured him out, but
Right.
Wonder Boy is like
Just
that
rush him.
old prime Lyoto right now. He's like, oh, how the fuck do I beat this
He's
guy?
a
you know?
better version of Lyoto.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But he's got that same mystique that Lyoto had back in the day.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Woodley though. Woodley's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
He's no slouch either.
Former champ from Strike
current
Force.
Is he the current champ?
He's the current champ, but he used to
Just knocked out Robbie Lawler in the first
have the Strike
round.
Force title.
And really like the only exchange that happened anyways.
No, there was like they traded a couple times, but that was like the only real strike that landed like flush, and he just dropped him. Yeah. I'm going for Wonder Boy.
I'm going for Wonder Boy too.
Oh, look at that. You guys agree. Isn't
We're
that
friends.
Hello.
Just kidding.
Woodley's really good, but
So you guys are calling for him to lose the title.
Yeah, he's going to lose. I'm going second round knockout for Wonder Boy.
Yeah, I'm going to go first round knockout.
And
because that's what I'd like to see.
Well, Wonder Boy, his last fight, or not his last fight, was his last fight Rory or Johnny? It was Rory, right?
Wonder Boy? Yeah, it was Rory. Yep.
So when he fought Johnny's like a stocky wrestler with knockout power, and he tooled him up. Like, he fucked him up real good. And that's like, you know, Woodley's more powerful than Johnny.
Okay.
But, you know, Woodley's short,
debatable.
stocky wrestler with knockout power. Just like Johnny.
Muscle on him.
So I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to watch the weigh-in for Alvarez and McGregor now. But let's take a break, and we'll watch that, and then we'll come back and talk about it after. Now, guys, I do want to do a little commercial in here because, as I was saying before we started recording, this Primo Nutmeg has a pretty short shelf life. You know, this is probably going to go up, I think, the same day of the event. So, which is actually a good thing because the last time we did this, the fights changed, and they did on this too. And we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, I'm just going to plug that tomorrow I'm going to put up a big interview, and it's one of the biggest ever in Primo Nutmeg history. It's with Jake the Snake Roberts.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
WWE Hall of Famer. And that'll probably go up a day or two after this. So,
where do you keep meeting all these wrestlers?
I didn't meet it. Well, actually, Patterson.
Is he coming here? He's coming to chill in your basement?
Man. It's already...
It's been recorded.
It's in the books.
It's a phone interview. But yes, he is coming to Connecticut because he's going to be here on Monday at the Funny Bone in Hartford. Jake the Snake Roberts is doing a stand-up comedy tour. So all of you fans who are interested in that should go to the Funny Bone on Monday, November the 14th. And that should be a good event. But yeah, I was excited to do that. I haven't... wait, here we go. November the 14th, 7:30 p.m., Funny Bone, 194 Buckland Hills Drive. Is that in Hartford? That's in Manchester.
It's in Manchester.
Yeah.
They call it the Hartford Funny Bone.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions about that. I used to work in the box office there, so
It's like it's his own thing there. He put it says Hartford.
yeah.
Whatever. So anyway,
Well, it's actually the Hartford Funny Bone. That's the name of it.
Stay tuned for that Primo Nutmeg, and also go out to see that. On another wrestling side note, something else that we didn't talk about in UFC is how badly CM Punk got his ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. That just kind of came and went.
Was that 203?
Yeah.
So I guess
yeah.
I have seen the past couple. I just forgot them, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was pretty bad, right?
Yeah, he
Just
got-
totally got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he just charged after this dude, and the dude just took him down and beat the fuck out of him.
So were
Yeah.
you embarrassed for him? Do you think Dana White shouldn't have put him in that event?
You know,
I think he shouldn't have given him that opponent.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
He
in
only
the
had
same
one
camp.
fight too, right? Like,
Yes.
No, he had two, but one was against they were both against cans for Mickey Gall. Like one guy he fought was in the UFC, and the other guy was like 0-1. He was like some reporter that also fought. So
You know, I did have
just
some
destroyed
faith in
him.
him, though. I had some faith because I was like, okay, this guy is used to the spotlight. And for the last 2 years, he's been training with a bunch of fucking killers. Like, trained killers. Ben Askren, Anthony Pettis, Sergio Pettis.
but he's a guy in his
Doofus.
late 30s who hadn't ever fought before that.
yeah, I was hoping he would do good. I don't know why, but
He's a nice guy.
I didn't watch wrestling when he was like big.
Yeah.
You know, but
likable
he seems like a good guy. You know, it would have been cool to see him do well. I don't know, but
During the era a few years ago when CM Punk was big, I do have to say he was one of the most entertaining professional wrestlers, like in a landscape of John Cena's and whoever the fuck else has been big the past few years. He was one of the really interesting ones, but he's just not really cut out to be a UFC fighter, I don't think.
no, he shouldn't have fought in the UFC, or they should have gave him an an opponent more like
He should
him.
have fought the fucking
Yeah,
Green
more.
Ranger.
I was just gonna say that.
Well, the Green Ranger even is a bad fight for him because he's fought like a few times, right?
Yeah, but that would make some money, man.
Yeah, that would.
It
definitely make
would,
some money.
but
and he's in his 40s.
Green Ranger has been training for years, so
You know what I mean?
But
He's never fought in the UFC before.
Yeah, the UFC's a whole.
yeah, but he's
different animal.
fought before. That's the thing. CM Punk didn't fight at all.
But what are they going to do? Just drag some other guy off the street?
No, he's not going to fight in the UFC. That's what needs to happen.
But what they should have done is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're Dana White. CM Punk comes to you, says, hey, we can make some money together. Give me an opponent.
Yeah, of course. I'm putting on that fight because I'm Dana White. But I'm not saying it was a good idea. So, like he might, what they do with him now is they'll keep him under contract, but they'll have him fight for some like legacy fighting or, you know, some
mean
World
Bellator?
Series of fighting or something.
He can fight Shamrock and Bellator.
Not Bellator, but one of those like one or, you know, even Ryzen or some shit. But Dana will keep him under contract with the UFC and just like, you know, they'll pay him his show money or whatever, but he'll fight under some other organization with some, you know, lesser opponent.
Could they take some like real hardcore old timer like a Shamrock and have him fight one of those guys? Like
I hope not.
Like somebody who just doesn't have a good chance of winning just because of their age, but who fans really want to see again?
I don't know. Maybe like a Mark Coleman. That's like different weight classes.
Mark
but
Coleman should never fight again. Have you seen Mark Coleman?
not lately.
Oh my god, he looks like. This is mean. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
All right, well, let's talk about the main event of 205. Eddie Alvarez and Conor McGregor. Two champions.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
There's only one Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, of course.
Eddie Alvarez.
You're going for Eddie?
You were waiting. You just
Of
wanna
course he's going
say
for
the
Eddie.
opposite.
I know it's gonna be Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
No?
You really You just want to say the opposite.
Yeah,
That's not true.
that is true.
Eddie Alvarez is a really good wrestler.
I'm not saying he
Has
isn't.
real heavy hands. Has a solid chin.
Well,
And Conor.
he definitely gets hit.
Conor's good too. But Conor gets hit too. I mean, he's going to get hit tomorrow. He's going to get ground and pounded
No.
in the second round, I believe.
I think McGregor, I think what's going to happen, Eddie's going to go out. He's going to, you know, make a couple exchanges and then immediately clinch him up against the fence and just fucking keep him there, grinding him out, you know, for the whole first round. And then he gets knocked out in the second.
You disagree.
Maybe. Maybe not. Probably
Yeah.
not.
How do you see
Yeah.
the fight going, Patterson?
I see Conor coming out and being pretty slick with his striking right off the bat. I think he's going to come out strong. I think he might even give Eddie some trouble in the beginning. But once Eddie gets his groove, how Eddie got his groove back. Once Eddie gets into his groove, I think he's going to go for a single or a double. He's going to take Conor down and might even get a pull off a submission. But he's just so heavy-handed, I think he's just going to beat him in a submission.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Conor McGregor, I didn't know this. I didn't know that he had 3 losses. I know that he lost to Diaz. What were the other 2 losses that he had?
Well, one was Joe Duffy.
Yeah. They were in other organizations. They were both by submission.
Yeah.
Was that early on in his career?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's learned a lot since then.
You could say
yeah.
that. Not really.
Not really.
As some trivia, do you guys know who Alvarez's 4 losses were to?
Michael Chandler,
Donald Cerrone.
Donald Cerrone.
I don't know who else.
Was
I knew
2 to Michael Chandler? Oh, Will Brooks, right?
No.
Oh no, he beat Will Brooks.
Will Brooks beat Michael Chandler.
When you guys are thinking about
he fought Eddie too.
Who's going to win
I know.
these fights, does that kind of history of who they have lost to, does that kind of tell you if they have a chance against the guy? Like, if they lost to somebody, if Alvarez lost to somebody who fights similar to McGregor, then it stands to reason that he should lose the fight, right?
You can't
Not
really
always.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, the MMA math doesn't always quite work out that way.
Because that's like being like, well, if this fighter beat this fighter, then
Well, Holly Holm beat
know.
Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey beat Miesha Tate twice.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
Holly Holm should beat Miesha Tate, then Miesha Tate chokes Holly Holm the fuck
chokes
out.
her out. So it doesn't work like that.
All right, I pulled up his record here. He lost to Donald Cerrone,
Yeah.
Cerrone, yeah.
Michael Chandler,
Oh, who, by the way, is off the fight card tonight?
Yeah. What the fuck?
and Shinya Aoki.
Shinya Aoki? I didn't know. Oh, that was in Pride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fields Dynamite! Exclamation mark! 2008.
Yeah.
So, okay, you guys disagree on that. But yeah, there was fights that were taken off this card, or at least one fight.
Two.
There were two
Rashad
fights that were
Evans,
taken off
Tim
this card.
Kennedy fight. Yeah, Rashad Evans and Tim Kennedy.
So a couple of
unfortunately,
these fights were replacements.
was going to be, I think, just that one with those two
Yeah.
dudes we didn't know who they were.
Yeah, I think one.
And then Donald Cerrone, Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum missed weight. He didn't even weigh in.
That's
He
weird.
chose not to weigh in.
It
And he has a history of
had to
doing
be
this
over
shit.
7 pounds.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. Definitely.
And Cerrone, he did an interview, and he said that if Kelvin just came up to him and was like, "Hey, man, I'm heavy," Cerrone would have fucking went up in weight
Yeah.
just so he could match.
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah. But Kelvin didn't do shit. He was just like, "Oh, I can't make weight."
Yeah, because he's fucking upset with himself. Which
He
should be.
never
I'm
makes
upset with
weight.
him.
Yeah, Kelvin.
At 170, he never makes weight. You're right. At 185, he does pretty good.
Yeah, but he is kind of small for 185.
Thank you, sir.
Have a can of America.
I don't know. And the same with Thiago missing weight, and he was blaming that on food poisoning. I don't know.
He missed weight because of food poisoning.
Thiago Alves.
Like he was underweight.
No, he was overweight. He said
How can
he
you be
couldn't sweat
overweight from-
anymore. That was his excuse. I'm not saying it was real, but
You figure if you had food poisoning, you wouldn't be eating.
yeah,
you'd
you'd
be
think
shitting
you'd
your
be,
brains out.
You'd be
Probably
losing
sweating.
more
more
weight
weight.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's unfortunate because those two fights. But the good thing is both those fights got moved to Chris McCa.
Yes.
Oh, so they're both happening at 206.
206. 206. Actually, Cerrone might be fighting Matt Brown.
Oh yeah, that's
Breaking
right.
news.
Yeah, I did see that before I came over.
Yeah. So
I'd rather see the.
I would
Gastelum-
much rather see that fight
see Matt Brown.
and Cerrone.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see the Gastelum fight tonight.
I don't give a
or
fuck.
tomorrow night.
I like Brown more than Gastelum.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
But Robbie Lawler fight
Yeah, but that was off a long time ago.
that would have been sweet.
But yeah, Evans and Kennedy got taken off. So
Mm-hmm.
and
So,
Kennedy and
two good
Jacare
fights.
weigh in at the weigh-ins, and they're not fighting each other. That's ridiculous.
I know, and they have fought each other in Strikeforce, I believe.
I think so. Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah.
But
So even with that being taken off of this card, is the hype true that this is the biggest card in UFC history?
Actually, yeah, I agree with that.
I would think so.
Because 200 was supposed to be, right?
200.
But that
a
card
really
got
good
fucked up
card.
too.
Yeah, but the fights weren't that great.
Well,
Yeah.
we haven't seen the fights for this card tomorrow.
That's
so.
true too.
True.
They
but I
should
feel
be,
like
though.
the people
We'll see.
fight-
Because you don't have somebody like
if the
like
fights
Lesnar
are like
there.
really good. Like,
Who was the old? They had another old timer come out at 200. Oh, it was
Silva?
Yeah, Silva, because he replaced
Cormier?
Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he fought Cormier.
That was pretty bad, man.
Yeah,
He looked good on the feet.
yeah, that was a weird fight. I don't know. That was a weird pay per view.
Yeah, Cormier could have just smashed him anytime he wanted
Yeah,
to,
man.
and just didn't.
They
Just
gotta
took him
respect.
down.
Just like paid his respects and like played pitter patter with Anderson Silva, who just had gallbladder surgery like a month and a half before.
Yeah,
that.
something like that, or like a couple weeks or some shit.
Weidman, who's on this card, he's the one that beat Silva, right?
Yeah.
He was doing the dance moves or
knocked him
whatever.
out with the left. Yeah.
Fucking nailed. That was when I started like getting into UFC, 2 years ago or whatever, watching that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Playing possum and
when
got
that
caught.
happened.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. Was that the end of Silva's career?
They
had a rematch,
Started
right?
a
That was the
downfall.
beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Started
Then
a
he broke his
downfall.
leg in the next fight.
Yeah, man.
Then he had the fight with Diaz and had
Dick pills.
tainted dick pills. That's why he pissed hot.
Yeah.
Which isn't true. He was taking steroids to fix his leg, which I completely understand. You should.
Of
have
course he
done
was.
that.
He snapped his fucking leg in
But
half.
you weren't doing in competition steroids. And it's not like your body transformed and you came out looking like your trainer did. He's got this trainer, like 59 years old, and he looks like the Terminator. It's ridiculous. And he's like clearly on steroids. So if Anderson Silva was going to do steroids, he'd probably look like that guy. He looked just like his old self. I give that a pass.
Could CM Punk fight Anderson Silva?
Yeah, if you want to fucking die.
Yeah, you would get fucked. God damn.
Yeah.
But just so again, this is being pitched as the biggest card in UFC history. What other UFC events in the last 204 would be contenders for the best ever if this doesn't go well?
Card wise or like event wise?
Event wise, going good. One that comes to mind in recent memory was the Conor McGregor Chad Mendes.
Chad
card.
Mendes card.
That card was awesome.
192
Jeremy
or 3.
Stevens had that jumping knee knockout. There were two
fucking like
knee
Street
knockouts on
Fighter.
that. Almost every card,
Move.
almost every fight ended in the first round. There was a fight night where Nate Diaz got knocked out. Who did he fight that night?
Josh Thompson.
Josh Thompson. I remember that fight night being a great fight night.
There's been a lot of good like it's funny because like if the first fight like ends in a knockout or like a quick finish, it feels like that sets the tone. Yeah, it sets the tone for like all the other fights because usually there's a bunch of finishes after that because people will watch it backstage and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and they just like it just changes the pace. Totally does.
Wasn't there a big card at like 54 or something? I think it was Liddell had some big fight.
What versus Tito?
Every fight he's had has been big.
Yeah, I don't know. 54, maybe. I think that was against Tito. Probably the second fight or whatever.
What about 100? Because that was probably at the time they were trying to make that.
That was one
deal.
of the biggest cards. That was
one of the biggest cards. It was a good card.
Wasn't Bisping Kendo on there?
Yes.
And that knockout.
And Lesnar was
amazing.
on there.
Lesnar was on there versus Mir.
And GSP, Thiago Alves.
Yeah.
Mark Coleman, Stephan Bonner.
Was it Rampage on there too?
Coleman actually won.
Did Rampage fight on there as well?
I don't think he was on that card.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. The Mendes McGregor card in recent memory was like one of the best in a long time.
Yeah.
if you were booking this 205, how would you? Is there anything that you could do to make it any better? Any other fights you could add or?
Yeah, I'd have
change
John
it?
Jones.
Yeah, I'd have Chuck.
I'd have
Liddell,
John Jones fighting on the fucking card. He's from New York. Like,
Well,
but
he-
John Jones
Yeah.
is beating himself.
You know what I would have? I would have John Jones, Rumble Johnson, #1 contender.
Yeah. No, I'd fight him. Have him fight Cormier.
I wouldn't want to see that. I want to see
Yeah, you do.
because everybody's
And you would watch it.
and I would watch it, and I would still want to see that fight. But if I
DC
could add a fight to this card, it would be that fight because I don't. Want
It
to
needs
see
to be
NBC.
Cormier Jones first. Because of all that fucking history, that fight needs to be the first fucking fight that he
His
has. when
last
he comes
fight was
back.
supposed to be against Johnson,
Yeah.
and he doesn't deserve to fight for the belt. The dude's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a
So
fair
I know
point,
he's a
right?
piece
That's why I
of
kind of want to
shit,
see
but-
Rumble get him, knock him down away from that.
Yeah. But there's so much fucking history between Cormier and
Because
Jones.
if
There needs to be the fight.
never beats Jones, I don't ever see him like being the real champion.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but let me finish, bro. I know. But what I'm saying is, even with that, if Rumble beats Jones and then DC beats Rumble again for the second time and never faces John Jones again, I would consider him the champion. Even though MMA math doesn't work like that, he's still beating a guy that just beat John Jones. So that's why I could forgive having that fight first.
Yeah, well, I don't agree.
Whatever.
I don't know if it's just the last fight I saw, because I haven't really seen too many DC fights, but he just doesn't seem like a very entertaining fighter to me.
I wouldn't say that.
I think he is. The fans don't like him that much.
Like, he's had some crazy, like, flip people over their head, like crazy wrestling style suplexes in the cage. Like to Dan Anderson and Josh Barnett. I think that was in Strikeforce, but, you know, still.
Has there ever been a fighter who is really entertaining to watch, but is not really a good fighter? Who, like, maybe very dramatic with his moves, or, I don't know, do a lot of, like, showboating or something, but he's not really a good fighter?
No.
Not really.
Not really.
I mean,
I seem to recall
there's been people who have not performed before, but if you're in the UFC, I mean, you're a good fighter.
Yeah. Like, there could be a guy that talks a lot of shit, and then he's like a shitty fighter. But I don't know. If a guy's usually, like, you know, doing crazy moves in the cage, he probably knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I remember there was a boxer, I think it's Nassim Hamed, but he'd do like lots of things, like he would flip over the top rope when he would come to the ring, and he would do lots of showboating and shit. But the only fight I ever saw, he got his ass kicked.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that video a while ago.
So during the weigh-in, at the end of the weigh-in, they also had a surprise telling us about 207.
Surprise!
Ronda Rousey is going to be challenging for the women's bantamweight title.
I think you'd be surprised.
Against Nunez. So what do you guys think of that fight? You guys didn't seem really that thrilled. You seemed kind of bored or disgusted.
I mean, it's whatever. I'll watch it.
Yeah. Whatever.
I don't know all the shit that's been going on with Ronda, and
just like
kind of over it.
I lost interest.
I don't know.
Ronda. Even though I've never been a huge fan
I've
of
lost
her.
interest in Ronda.
Even though I've never been a huge fan
It's
of
over.
her, just the way she handled this
It's
whole
over
thing.
between us.
I mean, I'm all for perseverance and, you know, comebacks and whatever, but her attitude just sucks. It's just like,
Do you think that it's wrong?
I mean, I respect her.
Do you think that's wrong that she's the number one contender?
No, you can make a case for it based on who she is.
Because Misha and
Within
Holly
reason.
both got their asses kicked in their respective fights.
Right.
Yeah. I think it would have been more interesting if Misha won that fight against...
Yeah, me too, right? Because you get a...
Yeah, because then you get
rematch.
Misha Ronda again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But there's some fights there for Ronda. She can fight Ali Holm again.
Assuming she wins this.
Assuming she wins.
If
she doesn't win, then she's
done.
It's over.
Yeah, I
done.
want to call that. Right
Is she
now
still
as well.
doing those movies? Is she still doing Roadhouse and Captain Marvel and all
I
that
don't
shit?
know.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that.
But you know what's funny is that WME bought the UFC, and I think Ari, what's his name? Ari Gold?
Shafir?
No, the fucking new owner of the UFC, Ari Emanuel, I think his name is. But he is like the agent for Ronda Rousey.
Wow.
So, or WME is, or something like that. So that should be interesting. See what happens there.
Well, guys, I think that's all of my questions. Did you have anything else that you really wanted to get off your chest about UFC or MMA? Anything really bothering you? How about each other? Anything really you just want to hash out right now?
Nah.
No.
Do you have any more of those jelly beans? We could play that game again.
Yeah, I do actually.
All right. We're going to play the jelly bean game again. This is going to be a UFC tradition on this show.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
How old are these things now?
Well,
you got these things in the summer,
jelly
right?
beans,
Was it
so they're
completely
good.
closed, or are they like marbles now?
All right.
Taste like rock.
So you pop the cap. Okay.
By the way, Patterson, would you ever eat a scorpion?
No. Probably not.
Oh, two of
mean,
the same color.
If I had
Wow.
So this will be
I think
for
you-
you both.
All right, I'll take the one with some
one.
red in it.
Hold on, let me get the
yeah. Okay.
potential flavors.
All
here.
right, so let's look at these. Now, what could these be? They're yellow and red, like Hulk Hogan.
I think bread in it.
I don't know, man. Moldy cheese? I think it's either moldy cheese or caramel corn.
And I'll grab one.
I think. I don't know.
I know what this is.
You know what? No.
Let's poop.
No. This is either canned dog food or
Chocolate pudding. And they taste the same. So,
Ugh. I hate that.
Patterson, okay. This is either dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
This is the one that we were getting the entire time last
Ready?
time, too.
Oh
Dead
my
fish.
god.
Let's
Remember
do
dead
this.
fish?
Come on.
It doesn't
Oh,
smell.
it is.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, it does.
Ready?
Because I already know what I got. I just crushed it and smelled it, and it stinks.
The smell doesn't work. They all stink. So,
Oh, man, it's in my mouth. I'm going to take a
all
bite.
right.
Come on.
all right.
Oh my god. Ugh. Oh my god, that's fucking gross. Ugh.
I got to be honest, man.
I got chocolate pudding. I think.
Can I tell you my theory on this?
I got garbage.
I
or
think
something.
that these two flavors are the same thing, and it's like some kind of like psychological test. Like, do
Maybe.
you want it to be a good flavor or a bad flavor? Because this tastes like a dead fish strawberry banana smoothie.
Mine was
That's
moldy
funny.
cheese.
Moldy cheese.
was
Oh, maybe you had a
disgusting.
different color.
It was yeah, I did. Because mine didn't have any bread in it.
Yeah, they're both similar. Ugh. Moldy cheese is a bad one.
Did you get that one yet?
I've gotten that one before.
Yeah.
How many
The
jelly
worst
beans are in
one,
this
though?
thing?
The worst one is rotten egg. That's the worst
I
one.
don't know, dude. That was
Well, that's a bad one. It's bad.
yeah, that was real bad.
Vomit's pretty bad, too.
Ugh, that might be what that was.
Should we do another?
Ugh, I'm not
Alright.
doing that dog food shit. I hate that.
What? Well, you got to do the dog food then.
All right.
Because I just did it. Hold on. Uh-oh. Oh, no. One of these could be rotten egg. I think.
Oh, I got chocolate pudding.
Oh, shit.
What you got?
I don't even know what that was, but it's pretty good. What was that? McG's face just turned all red. He was like gagging.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Well, Patterson, any final thoughts on life?
Oh man.
We've come a long way, haven't we? In life.
Yeah, we certainly have. I think we need another podcast to delve into all that.
Jesus.
But yeah, I don't know if you're planning on watching football this weekend instead of MMA, then you're dumb.
Yeah, I'd agree to
They're
that.
on different days, aren't they?
Yeah,
I don't care.
But if you watch one and not the other, unless it's just watching MMA, you know,
If you're not watching 205 tomorrow,
You suck.
you got problems.
unfriend me on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you're not watching 205, unfriend me.
Have I not to delve into politics because this isn't a political show, but I'm just wondering: have any of you been unfriended by anybody since the election?
No, you know
No.
why? Because I don't fucking talk about politics
Yeah, I don't
on
either.
Facebook.
Yeah, well.
I don't even. I don't even touch politics.
All right. Well,
It's got nothing to do
all right.
with me.
Well, let's leave this podcast untouched by politics. And I'm just going to, again, plug, within a day of this going up, check out Primo Nutmeg 53, which is going to have Jake the Snake Roberts. Thank you, Patterson. Thank you, McG. Appreciate you helping me learn about this card, and I'm hoping that it is a good card.
Anytime.
And
It will be.
Where is it tomorrow? Your house?
My place. You coming?
I'm coming.
Good.
You coming? Michi?
I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Will you do Mr. Jones and me instead?
No.
Patterson, actually, last time we did this, he let us out. I normally do it. How about you? Leave us the final thought.
Get right up on that mic.
Final thoughts? I'll give you some final thoughts. Jesus. In life, you either like MMA or you don't. And if you don't, unfriend me. Good night.